What's up, y'all? It's Bryon and Coach Moe. We're one camera right now, and so we're keeping it a little bit lighter than we normally do, but we wanted to check in with you to give you an update on a couple of things we're working on, but there's some stuff that we probably need to mention.
Speak the truth.
So what we're going to do is we're going to toss it to our intro, and then we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So first things first, we are 100% in working with Youth of America Charity Foundation. We're setting up the sports program, and so we're having our first fundraiser, which is our basketball tournament. It's a winter meltdown basketball tournament. There's opportunities for sponsorship. If you own a company or something or private, you can get your name on the t-shirt that's going to come out. Realistically, what we want to do is we want to transition our basketball academy, our large group basketball academy program, to the nonprofit. And so everything helps. And that way we can offset some of the costs and provide a little bit more to the kids that are part of that. And so it's a partnership Mo and I have been working on. We cultivated it. And so December 29th, right?
Yep.
Where is it at?
So December 29th at the Lead Center, we'll have our first, it's exciting, man, our first tournament. What we are looking for is any team, boys, girls, high level or just competitive, whatever you want. Probably recommend, like, if you're playing 600 games a year, probably not the tournament for you. But we'll take high level and competitive teams and even lower bronze teams that want to get in there. Our main thing is to get it's a fundraiser. It's for the kids. It's for the community. It's for the local businesses. And it's fun.
And it's a one-day tournament.
Yep.
So December 29th at the Lead Center. We're starting a couple of teams. We're going to call them the Metro United. If you've been following on social media, you've seen it. These are going to be kids that didn't make rosters for some of these other teams, or kids that just want an opportunity to practice and play. The goal is to get them ready to come to tryouts next year. And so there's going to be practice. There's going to be a lot of training with some games mixed in, right?
Yep.
And so these are going to be 8th and 9th grade. Just giving them an opportunity to get out there and play, especially if they didn't make their teams. And we all know, let's condense the nonsense, sometimes it's not always about who the best player is when it comes to getting on something. So you have to play the game. And unfortunately, if you're transfer in or you move to a new school district or whatever, you may not have the reputation with the feeder programs and stuff like that. And so that might be a little bit harder door. So we're trying to give them the skills that can't get ignored. And so this Metro team is an intensive, the 9th grade especially is going to be really an intensive catch-up kind of thing, so that when they walk into tryouts for 10th grade, they can just get in there and put their best foot forward. Heavy training, games when we can find them against other 9th grade organizations during the year, but this is also going to be our summer team. And so we're going to do a little bit more in the summer and basically year-round to get them caught up and ready to play ball in the fall. Did I break that down?
That's really good. And again, it's not all the time because we got most of the week because you got cut, but a lot of times some kids might even they might just try. You had an injury. That's another big thing to do. You might have an injury, you couldn't play this year. Maybe there's some football or something like that too, and you actually are healed. Now, in basketball, I want you to try out next year is to get yourself back into it too. So we have a lot of players also that may not play for their school this year because they're starting baseball training and things there. You got contacted, like, Mom is good with your baseball coach went to is good, you can still play those games here. So we're gonna make sure that's a big thing. Also back to the tournament, part of it is when you see the tournament for the 29th, just make sure you see it. You can register we have a Game Changer app and a link that we will send out to you guys. You can register that, but you also have to hit the link where you pay. So in the pay, it's only $125 per team, but make sure that you're officially in when you register and you pay. Then you're officially in, and then we can start putting you into the scheduling group, and you can start giving us your conflicts, and we can get you scheduled.
And that's what it is. The Metro. Okay, so we talked about that, getting registered. One last thing: the Metro United teams. This is all. It's starting out 8th and 9th grade. Mm-hmm. As we get more inquiries, we will expand it out to different grades. But realistically, we're calling it Metro United because there's a lot of teams that are focused in one area of the city or the other. This is the whole city coming together. And so the idea and the vision is we're bringing all these kids in from all over the city to give them a shot to keep playing through the year. And for the younger teams that are not high school, they're going to be in tournaments and things like that. The reality is for ninth graders, it's a little bit harder in season to find those tournaments. And so we'll get you in where we can, just because it's thin pickings. And we'll find opportunities for y'all to play with that Metro United team if you're on the ninth grade team. But for the ninth graders, it's going to look different because it's going to be really intense on the training side of it to get you ready for the season. You'll still play, but the training is going to be the biggest focus.
Right.
Because you got to catch up. All right. So we got those two things out of the way. Sign up, opportunities going to be popping up for that. We're working on getting the payment portal for the Metro United team so we can have that rolling. And that's going to be our joint team that we're running with Youth of America Charity Foundation. We got some big things with that one. I'm not going to go into the whole vision with that one right now. Right. That's going to be an actual real podcast. Here's where we're at, y'all. We're in this transition, in this gap between nonprofit, for-profit. And we're trying to figure out, because we're trying to make sure that we are taking care of all our obligations here on the for-profit side while we get the nonprofit up and running. And one of the things I'm realizing, and I'm a marketing guy, I work with other businesses or whatnot. One of the things we always talk about is price is positioning. And Mo and I were just talking off camera. We always want to keep it affordable for families, and that's been our driving thing. Here's where we're at. We've been trying to keep it affordable, but I feel like sometimes we're getting viewed as a discount alternative, discount option.
Yeah.
Let's run down our resume. If you follow us on social media, we just got shouted out by a young man that Mo's been working with, and Mo's about to tell you about him.
Yeah.
He plays for UCLA. He worked with us, worked with Mo. We got multiple college players that come through this place. We got multiple high school players that come through this place. But I feel like a lot of times, since we aren't charging through the nose, or we're not so hardcore on making sure restricting access, we have a pretty big heart about letting people in and, oh, I'll get you guys, and we never get got.
Right.
I feel like it does come down to where there's a level of where it doesn't feel like we're getting valued the same kind of way as some of the other organizations that are actually offering less. And we're being transparent here. People are paying more to get less, but we're the ones that kind of get expected to not get compensated for the for-profit side.
I guess I look at it as we've been like the same, just me personally too, and we talk about this. You've done this on the marketing side. On the sports side, I feel like we've been the savior for a lot of kids. If you look at me, you'll never see me claim anything. I always say I'm a small part. If somebody shouts me out, I'm a small part. They want to say I'm a bigger part, that's great. I know they probably are. I do wonder how people view us. Just the other day, I have a person that paid an organization a great amount of money for them to do a lot of stuff with their daughter. It didn't go right. They came to me, and it's like, let's train, let's get back on the grind, let's go here. I'm like, and I just asked the question, why did you give them that up front if you didn't know or had an idea what they were going to give you back? With us, you have an idea that we're going to do. If you go to Basketball Academy, you're going to see us on a Monday, you're going to see us on a Wednesday, you're going to see us for speed and agility on a Tuesday, Monday, or Saturday, or Sunday. You have chances to do one-on-one training, you have chances to do small group training, you have chances to get in games, chances to do camp. You see what we do. You do. So there's something to do 7 days a week. You look at our reviews, those are real reviews. Those aren't made up people, those are real reviews. Like I said, Will, I thought that I can shout him out. Will, it's a kid that was a Bellevue kid. We helped him with his speed and agility, how he jumped, how he ran, how he's explosive. And he actually explains that on a podcast that he was on. That's a Division I player. We have other Division I players. The fact that you're getting to college is huge. And we always tell kids that. NAIA, D1, D3, D2, we have those. We have those. We also have kids who are just great varsity players. Right. And that's the thing, but they're great students too. There are kids that are great JV players. They get to play full time. And they're good at acting and doing those things there. We care about all that stuff, but we also make them very effective athletes on and off the court. So I guess when we get, it ain't complaining, it's just being real. When we get looked at as second, it's good. One thing bothered me, also, I hear it sometimes, is I want this quick development. And so I don't know what other programs do. Hey, I need all this money up front, and I'm going to turn your kid into this superior athlete. That's probably what they say, right? We're honest. And I think, honestly, maybe that's a problem, but we're honest about what we're providing. Have some people come in sometimes like, hey, if I pay you this, is my kid going to be an all-star? No, because the kid, I don't know who they are before you. We got to do an evaluation. We got to do that. Well, that takes too long.
We're not going to give your kid anything that they don't earn.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that ends up becoming the expectation. And it goes into sometimes people won't show up. And then if they don't play, then they're mad at the coach because, well, I pay you money. Why isn't my kid playing? Well, the other people pay us money too, but their kids show up to the practices and academy sessions and actually work to get better. And the expectation that they're supposed to jump the line in front of the kids that actually show up and put in the effort is not fair.
Their next level.
Right.
Their next level. So in 8th grade, they're going out for their high school team next year. So high school expectations is you don't show up to practice in high school, you don't show up to any of that stuff.
You don't play.
You don't play. So I don't know if us holding people accountable or being honest is a problem.
I think maybe that's one of the things that people are expecting. I look at it like this. People want fast.
Yep.
They want it now. So if they pay us to train the kid, they expect this kid to be better in a month. Well, how long did it take you to get Will better with the footwork and explosiveness?
He's a great athlete, but it took several months to get him where he's even better, even more explosive, to the point where he can control his body and those things there. And now it's paying off. And you can't do it overnight. And I also look at the time you bring a kid. Kids develop at different times, but if you bring a kid to me at 11th grade and you want to turn him into Kyrie Irving, it doesn't happen because Kyrie Irving, first of all, is a natural talent. And if you look at those guys and you read their stories, they did a ton of stuff with their trainer. They did a ton of stuff outside of basketball, and they watched basketball. They really wanted it. They wanted a million, and I understand that's a great thing. We always want to have an idea when we're kids. Jordan or Kobe, too. We didn't all work as hard as those guys because we didn't have that natural ability to be those players.
But they locked in, though. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's the point. The part of our training, part of Moe's training is constantly reinforcing the kids. You have to work to earn the things that you want. It's not just going to fall in your lap. And I wonder sometimes, because business 8 years, right?
10.
10 years.
And 10 and worse.
We encounter a lot of adults that don't understand that in order to get good outputs, you have to put in good inputs. Mm-hmm. That means you have to put in good effort in to get the results. And what we see is people wanting quick, fast. Well, him over here has shown up to 40 sessions consistently. And that's why they're better. And I feel like a lot of times we're getting sucked into this quick, fast, in a hurry thing. And we're honest, it doesn't happen like that. You got to show up and put in the effort and put in the work with focus. We talk about a lot of times, sometimes parents will just drop the kids off and the coaches are having to deal with behavior issues. Mm-hmm. And they spend half the time dealing with this kid's behavior issues. And then that 90 minutes gets cut down to 45 because you had to cut through 45 minutes of BS with this kid goofing around trying to touch people and tickle people, which is weird. Sometimes when we say, you need to sit down and watch your kid in practices and see how they act, we're serious about that because you're paying money for this and you need to see how your kid is in here wasting your money.
As a parent of athletes, that I have a senior and going through the process of recruitment so that to continue on and play basketball, I understand the emotional attachment. But you also got to understand that it's okay to listen to what the coaches have to say,
right,
and process a little bit. I ask you sometime, and then ask the question to your kid: hey, were you doing that? Are you like that in practice? Are you focused? Because when I know, your kids aren't angels at home either. You know what I'm saying? But when we're going to work with these kids, it's a process. But to think that they're not struggling behavior-wise, sometimes it happens, or they're not struggling to get a concept of basketball, and so they're so frustrated, they want to quit. That's where I have an issue because basketball is a journey.
Right.
It's not, you're not going to get over that. It's a journey. I can't dribble twice and say, yep, I got handles now. I have to go dribble every day for a certain amount of time. We have videos out where we talk about learning how to shoot, learning how to dribble, and we take you through different steps in those videos. You'll see it on our YouTube. The video, like, you have to do different steps to get here. And sometimes you plateau, sometimes you go back down, and the reason you do that is you take days off, you take time off, and we try to remind you that. So we keep it real at this point, but we keep it real, we still want to work with the kids to get better. And I think some people will jump ship looking for the best, for somebody to tell them that it's okay what they're doing. The jump ship is okay, to leave is okay, and that's not going to get the kid better. So we do that. Conversation, and also if you're one of our parents, and I had kids talk to me, and shout out to the parents that's going to show some things to me. The parents know that some stories with me is, it's bigger than basketball with us. And so every time I break down a group on Mondays and Wednesdays, I talk about other stuff. I told the kids last night, they got one more week to get their grades up. And what do I do with basketball? Because you're not going to be eligible to play basketball.
Right.
And even if you're in third grade, I need to teach you now that when you get to seventh grade, your grades are important because you can't even scratch a tryout with low failing grades. So we talk about things that are going to help them beyond basketball. We tell the kids after basketball, how do you work outside of it? Man, hey, you know what? You should have been skipping these extra days of training. Oh, you have a team practice? Why did you miss it? I was chilling playing video games. Okay, so now that's going to reflect your playing time. With a mom that wanted to take a kid out from playing for a couple of weeks because what she felt like discipline was because had a talking issue at school. That's a huge problem to me because what it does is if you trust a coach with your kid to get better and develop, you should trust to have a conversation with me of how we can help not only just discipline, but how we can get them back on track and get them on the court. Because getting off the court and taking them away from basketball and taking them away from sport, I don't care if it's football, basketball, baseball, is not going to get them developed.
Well, and it's one of those things. We've set kids down for grades. We've had kids do homework during basketball academy.
Yep.
Like, we've done this stuff. And both of us come from a behavioral modification background when it comes to kids. And so you include the coach in the part of the behavior management team so that you can make sure that it's consistent across the board and parents are communicating. And you're allowing the coach to enforce some discipline, because if the coach doesn't want to do that, then they're not a good coach.
Right.
If they don't want to enforce discipline on the kid during practices and stuff because they're acting a fool at school or not getting homework done or whatever, they're not really invested as a coach. They just they're just somebody out there, a man or woman out there that just wants to win games.
Right.
And that's not who we are internally. And so when you pull them away from the athletic side, you're removing our ability to enforce discipline. One, it hurts the rest of the team, because now the team has to adjust to somebody that's not there, somebody that they might have been counting on. The thing that I know, and this is 20 years of group home, juvenile probation experience, kids adapt really fast to a punishment.
Yep.
And so you pull them away thinking that you're teaching them something, you're showing them a lesson. They evolve to life without basketball, life without sports. They'll evolve within a day or two. This is my new existence. I'll adapt to this. And now that punishment has really taken the sting out of the punishment side of things. And there are times where the coach might say, okay, you're suspended for a couple of games.
Right.
Let the coach make that decision, make that determination. And it has a little bit more sting because now they got to come back and earn their spot back. But if you just pull them out without any level of communication, you end up cutting somebody that could help out a ton with the behavioral side of things. And that punishment ends up losing its power eventually because kids adapt.
It's 100% true. How many times have you, with your own kids, they did something that wasn't great and you talked to them and you disciplined, a little upset, they still eat dinner.
Yeah.
You still eat dinner. They still say goodnight. You still hug them. And they're like, it cannot be a 2-week punishment for something that is not that bad.
We're saying there's a couple of points that we need to make out of this. One, for the for-profit side of things, we're below market rate. we're going to start charging market rate and above because we're providing above average services out of here. And so just expect that, because that increases the quality of what we can offer, the quality of work that we can provide, but it also matches what we've already done. So just be prepared for the for-profit side. The nonprofit side exists to give everybody opportunities to hoop. And so there are different ways that you can work with us. The for-profit side is going to go mostly to training, where the for-profit side is strictly training, and then the teams are on the nonprofit side. That's one. Two, I need y'all to wrap your mind around this. If you do not show up to academies, speed and agility, if we don't see you throughout the week and you haven't talked to the coach, there's probably no point in showing up to a game. It's just setting everybody up to be disappointed, unless you've had conversations with the coach, because we know life happens. Family emergencies happen, weather emergencies happen, school functions happen, and we're fine with that as long as there's a level of communication between yourself and the coach and they know that's what it is. But if you're just MIA for the entire week and then you decide on Saturday, hey, what's up, I'm here, put me in, coach, you're probably going to be disappointed with the playing time or lack thereof, because it's not fair to the kids that showed up, put in the work all week, and you just jump the line. Just because you don't pay for a roster spot with us, you pay to be trained to be a basketball player. The YMCA exists if you want to pay for a roster spot. If you just want to pay for your kid to be on a team, there's plenty of places you can go. We're trying to teach your kid how to be a better player.
Right.
And that comes with putting in the work, showing up. We have to see you putting in the work. You can pay for a roster spot any one of these other places.
Yeah, and the energy we put in as coaches, and we plan out our days, we plan out our workouts, we plan based off of the amount of people that we think that's me, and so those that they get it, it's great. We're not gonna go back 10 steps because you missed practices. You're like, we're gonna keep moving on with the kids that have to be there. But we do have a lot of pride, and we are good at what we do. And I have the certifications, I've had that experience, and I have the kids that back up what we talk about. You have the certifications, you have the skill set to do what you do, right? And we do a great job. And are we perfect? No, but are we everything focused on getting your kid better? Yes. Is everything making sure that they have enough to get themselves better? Yes. So we do have things in place so your kid to get better. So we're not selling a dream of anything. If you show up, you will get better. If you're consistent, you'll get better. If you show up to more than one thing, you'll get better. But if you don't, there's no way to get on social media. There's no way to get in my inbox, through my email, and say, my kid is not developing. Who's your kid? Oh, he's a kid that showed up 4 weeks ago in that one session you got. Wow, yeah. I don't know who that is. I heard that the way we train kids defensively, and that our kids are really aggressive. I don't know what that means. It means really aggressive and almost too competitive for other kids. And it's funny because I heard that from somebody, and I'm glad people talk, right? That it's not signed up for our program. Yeah. It's not part of our program, who probably is going around spreading things like that too. But what I think about that is funny is those aggressive, over-competitive kids are some of our beginning groups. So I am now impressed by our training that our coaches have put in, that one of our beginning groups, who are 6th graders, who are playing 7th and 8th graders in a game or a tournament, are looked at as aggressive and almost too competitive. Congratulations to you boys, because that means you have made it so far in a month and a half that you're looked at as older, more aggressive, competitive kids. So to me, that makes us, I think we're, props to our coaches, props to our players and the parents that stick with us.
So we're talking about the difference between rec and competitive.
Yep.
We are competitive.
Yeah.
Rec is YMCA, it's everybody having fun and everything else. Fine, that's fine. But if that's what you want, there are plenty of organizations to provide that experience to you. We are a little bit more competitive. We're trying to build players that can play junior high and high school ball. And that's a different lane than just fun time, we're all in together and we just want to feel better. We will absolutely, as the nonprofit launches, we'll have programs at that tier. But we don't have them right now. And if that's what you're looking for, then we ain't for you. But to tell our sixth graders that they're too competitive and they need to not compete as hard, you want to put a limit on, you want to put a ceiling on our kids because your kid's ceiling is our floor.
Right.
And that's not fair to those kids. It's like that kid, little league kid, that they wouldn't let play those games because he was too good. That's not what we're about. The kids get everything they earn. That's how we perceive it.
And with me, so the personal shots at me are always hilarious because for years, I mean, there's jokes. I coach a little different from other people. Sometimes it works for some people, but overall, I love the kids. And overall, the kids are knowing that it's, at the end of the day, I want them to get better. I don't pull kids and sit them down for 3 games. You have 5 turnovers in the game. You give up a layup, whatever, you get back on defense. I have to teach you that you're letting your team down because your mind's not there for a second. Right. Take a break and get yourself back in there. What you won't do is discredit anything we've done.
Right.
You didn't do anything I've done. What you'll do is how we have affected with families. It's bigger than basketball. We sit at kids' plays. We sit at kids' IEP meetings. We come in here, we clean the gym ourselves. We have fundraiser events. We have parties. We do car washes. We connect with the community and our families and our kids because people stay around and see what we actually do. If you're on the outside looking in and not part of our program, sure, it's easy to say things like that too, but also there's a reason why our program is going on 10 years. And it's going to keep going on strong. There's a reason that we still have kids going to colleges. There's a reason that we have kids that are varsity players and JV players. It's not about what you think it is. It's this. I get on the refs all the time. My favorite thing is get on the refs. But I guarantee you ask any one of these refs and they see me, it's always, what's up, Coach Moe? I don't curse them out.
Right.
They always say, I'm glad to see your teams. Man, you got 8 teams in this. I'm glad your kids play the right way. That makes us more proud when I hear when somebody says our kids are playing the right way. Our kids aren't throwing elbows at people. Our kids aren't the one causing fights and riot. The occasion that they try, they are disciplined and handled with us that moment.
Right.
That moment. So it's not a bunch of, we don't have this team, well, here's the CMA teams and they're out in the room and those kind of things there. That's your own. That's in your own head.
Last thing. So if we ain't for you, that's fine. Don't be that person that you don't like a restaurant or you don't like some specific food and you're going to slander that restaurant or slander that food whenever you got it, even though they didn't necessarily do anything to you and you didn't have a bad experience. It just wasn't for you. And I feel like that's what Mo is saying, where we have somebody that the service, there's a misalignment with services. We hadn't even really started services. Like, I don't think that person was ever in services.
No. People don't pay us for a service, have a lot to say, and that's just mind-blowing.
They came out and saw how intense, how our kids get after it on Monday. Like, Mondays is our time when we get after it.
Right.
And our kids don't lay down for anybody. And so they play each other as hard as they play anybody else.
And mind you, these are girls and our boys.
Right.
At different ages. So it's not like we have specific travel team, kids that are starting college. These are all our kids.
And so it wasn't for you, and that's fine. But don't say that we did something wrong, where you just came out and saw, oh, these kids are a little bit more aggressive or competitive than my kid is. That's fine. We're not mad about that. I guess the thing that we don't like is don't throw us under the bus because the program was a little bit too intense for you. Because if I'm talking about the same person.
Yeah, you are.
You didn't really participate.
No.
And it was just observation thing.
Didn't talk to us.
Didn't interact.
Had a lot to say in public about what we had to do. And so to me, that's,
and our parents
had our back.
Our parents fronted them off.
Yep.
And that's what the bottom line is. We're not for you, that's cool. There's no ill will. We're cool with that.
Don't slander our name.
Don't slander the name and go to the YMCA because I think they might be a little bit more your speed. We are not the YMCA. And you're going to start seeing us making that separation to show the difference between a competitive program and a recreational program now. Like, it's going to start because the price of training is going to go up to match market rate.
And you just talking about like You go to a McDonald's 3 times and make their sandwich wrong, you just go to the other McDonald's. You don't get on social media. You just naturally do it and explain why you hate the whole organization of McDonald's. Like, too.
Or hate hamburgers
in general. And you go on strike. You just move. If it ain't for us, then go.
And if it's something we did wrong, then we'll have that conversation all day.
Yeah.
But don't not participate. I guess my thing is, don't not participate. You weren't necessarily in services, but you have no problem talking bad about it. And then when the parents confront you, because that's exactly what happened, when the parents confront you on it, it turns into something else.
Right.
Like our parents are mean to you and stuff like that. They're mad because you're talking bad about their kids and the program that their kids are invested in. Right. And the program that's actually making a difference, that's what I'm saying. The program that's actually making a difference in those kids' lives, you're talking bad about them.
Right.
And you're expecting them not to say anything.
You have no idea what we've done for these kids. You have no idea what the future holds for all these kids. And the crazy thing is for me is there are trainers, there are coaches, there are schools out here, and you will never see me on a public forum call a trainer out, call a school out, because guess what? I give you props if you are in it for the right reason. You are really trying to help a kid. Your training methods may be different from mine than this person, but if you have a great intention for getting that kid better, sweet. I am not going to say a word to you. Like, what we'll say is, if you don't try us, or try even some of our partners, a part of the people we partner with there, and you bash them, and you already called out, and you probably should stop.
Just go to the why.
Just stop.
We're not doing all that. Go to the place that will give you the experience you're looking for instead of coming to a place that doesn't match the experience you're looking for and then getting mad when we don't tailor it to meet your needs, because we're not that program. You're mad at Pizza Hut because they don't serve tacos. And you need to go somewhere where they serve tacos and not be mad at a place that doesn't serve them. That's what I'm talking about. And if you're mad about it, I'm sorry. Maybe it's time to start pissing people off. The reality is we put in a lot of work and we made a difference for a lot of kids. And we have a kid at UCLA and we have kids at different, we haven't talked to the parents of the other kids, but we're going to talk to them and then you're going to start hearing from them too.
Look at our page. Look at CoachMoeAthletics.com.
Or
look at our Instagram. Look at our Facebook. They're on there.
Every kid, and now this is going to sound like another shot at somebody, but it's not.
No, man, they shooting at us.
Every kid that you see, college, high school, whatever, every kid that we put on our page are kids that have trained with us. A lot of people can't say that.
Yep.
We don't post other people's kids and say that they train with us. We only post our kids that train with us.
We love the fact that Nebraska's getting recognized and surrounding Ohio for the athletes they have. And we will shout them out. Any kid, to me, man, what exciting thing. Any kid that gets an offer, sweet. Any kid that's getting a playoff varsity minute, 1 minute, sweet. Any kid that's getting it is great. But when we post, our mentality is different. These are kids on our page that work with us. They work with one of our coaches, they work with me, they work with one of us.
Last thing I want to pitch. So, because we got to get moving. We started a new YouTube channel called CMA Next Up. And this is a channel where I want to interview kids that are in our program and create little, and not necessarily highlight reels, but interview reels and post some of their highlights and post some of their workouts and stuff. And then give y'all the opportunity to have those video clips so you can share them or email them or send them to whatever prospect or whatever colleges or programs you want. There's going to be a fee attached to it, but we're going to get started with a couple of kids. We'll feature those clips on that YouTube channel. We'll feature them on our Facebook. We'll feature them on our website. And it gives your kid a little bit more exposure to be out there. Email us at coachmoeathletics@gmail.com if you're interested, and we can set up a time. Normally we'll do it during academy so that we can get some time where they're out getting reps on Monday night, because that's our intense session. And then we'll just pull them over to the side. I'll set up my equipment and we'll do the interviews. So it's going to go for the CMA Next Up page. But we want to show our work a little bit more. We want to feature your kid. So if you're putting in the work, we want to be able to feature them on the page and give you clips that you can use for recruiters and stuff.
Yeah, trainers, if you need training for your kid, hit me up. You still need a team. You want this kid to have on the fence, you lost You didn't make your 9th grade team. Hit us up.
Yeah,
Hit us
Metro.
up. If you're a kid that just needs a team to play on, you're a 3rd grader, you're a 4th grader, 5th, 6th, 7th, jump in now. We can help you out. High school coaches, if you need to message me, hit me up. I can give you a schedule of our 8th grade games. Hit me up. We can tell you when they're playing. You can come and watch them play. Send someone else. I understand I coach high school and stuff like that. Send an assistant to sit and just watch. Don't let these kids just slip by when they're not doing it. They can be going to your school and you can check them out. We have them. We're developing. And if you have kids you want to get developed and they go to your high school, or you want to get them to come to high school, send them to us so we have them ready for you.
And last thing, guys, I'm gonna keep the Black Friday page up a little bit longer because we got things on there that we're not gonna be posting again. So I want you to take advantage of these discounts. I got a lifetime discount, like where it's like, when I say lifetime, career. If it's one kid and we train them for 2 years, that's fine. Then the next kid comes along and we train them for 3 years, then that's what it is. But it's a lifetime thing. We also have year-long season passes. They're at rates that we'll probably never touch again since we're reconfiguring how we charge for this stuff.
Right.
So you need to take advantage of it now while it's still out there. And so we're gonna leave that up probably this time next week.
Yeah.
To make sure that you can get in there for Christmas, and then that comes down and goes away forever. So if you're interested, you need to sign up and take advantage of these while they're out there. Sign up for the Metro United team if you want to hoop, because that's going to be the one that we push through the nonprofit, and they're going to be getting some different resources.
Right.
Sign up for Basketball Academy, sign up for private training. All this stuff is available. The world is yours. It's how you want to approach it. We can shape your basketball destiny however you want to do it, but you got to get in and put in the work. We don't promise anything. You got to go out and earn it. And I think maybe that's the most important skill that Coach Moe is teaching these kids. You got to earn everything you want instead of expecting it to be handed to you. It's not, nothing is given for free.
Yep.
So that's all we got. Hit up the Black Friday link, hit up the Metro United stuff. All this stuff is on the website. Contact us through email if you want to be part of Next Up. And the nonprofit page is up. We're taking donations and team sponsorships. If you want to put your business's name on one of our Metro United teams, you need to contact us pretty quick because we're getting a lot of inquiries and we got to figure out what this is going to look like. So that's all we got. Talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.